LOL, white America, assassinate my character. Money matrimony, yeah, they tryna break the marriage up. Who gon' act phony, who gon' try to embarrass you? I'ma need a day off, I think I call Ferris up.
Bueller had a Mueller, but I switched it for a Miele, cause I'm richer. And prior to this shit was moving free.
Yo, how was the workout today? I'm sitting here with Dose, so put it on him. Was it easy?
It was hard. What are you talking about? It's always hard.
Okay.
In a good way.
Well, I thought you were gonna get a free one-on-one because it was too easy today.
You said it was too easy. I said I could barely finish today.
Oh.
Well, it looks like this week's going to get twice as hard because people think the fucking workouts are easy. So whoever's going to be coming this week.
Who said it was easy on this phone call?
I don't know. All I heard was the end of it. All I heard was easy.
No, it was hard to get through. It was perfect, though. They did need to up the music a little bit.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Typically 10 out of 10, and today it was like a 7.5.
Ooh,
Oh.
7.5 vibe at Congo. Okay, that's on Bacha. That's either on Cole. That's on Cole. I think
That
that's
might
on
have been Cole on the music then. Has to have been Cole.
Yeah, I didn't have anyone screaming in my ear today, and no like reggaeton or loud rap.
You know what I love, though? The fact that you like that shit. That's what's awesome.
Oh, that's what gets me going.
Oh, okay. Say less.
I'm white on the inside, but I have like a little bit of thug in me. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Thug life.
Well,
I like
she
it.
was a track runner in high school, right?
Yeah. My mom ran for U of H.
Yeah, her mom
Yeah,
was a
she's
stud.
She's in the perfect spot then.
Yeah.
Congo's the way.
Yeah. You're about to do a podcast?
Yeah, we're about to bang
You're
this
you're
thing out.
basically on the podcast right now.
Featured?
Yeah, you're featured.
Wow. What is it gonna be about today?
Dose's story. It's gonna be
Oh, it's a story.
Yeah.
That's going to be our story.
our story. Resiliency.
And it comes at a great time because we just had our 5-year anniversary, and you were with us from pretty early on and stayed with us, so it's going to be a perfect segue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Are y'all gonna do a little I don't know, introduction to the new Congo location? Are y'all gonna drop any hints or no?
Oh yeah, you best believe how we market things. There will be hints, but we got to make progress more before we drop more hints.
Okay, well I'm gonna tune in so I can hear this next hint.
All right,
I've been collecting hints.
all right, sounds good.
All right.
bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you.
All right, how's the audio, Aaron?
We are looking good.
All right, what episode we got?
11.
Ooh, yeah. Episode 11, season 2, coming off the 5-year anniversary of Congo. And we have a special guest today. And we were just talking about what we're going to be talking about today. What was the word you just said, Bram?
Resilience.
He said resilience. And I always said it's going to be a story about us because he's been with us since the very beginning of the evolution of Congo. So 5 years, resiliency. He's got a hell of a story. I hope it inspires people, motivates people. And I'm actually excited to hear his actual story because I've only known this guy for what, 16?
Yeah.
8 years?
2016 for sure.
So about 8+ years. But we never get to really talk. It's usually in the gym, high and by, football, fucking life happens. How do we get back from shit like that? How do we grow from it? And still to this day, I haven't really got to sit down and just wrap it up with him. That's what I love about the podcast. So Bram, my dog, thank you for hopping on,
Yeah,
man.
thank you for having me. Thank
course,
you for
of
having me.
course.
And the reason why we're not chit chatting at the gym is because you're sometimes just in serious mode, and I don't get to those modes. Like I'm not built like you guys. Y'all are just so focused, and it's so impressive the way you guys do it every day, and it's like I can do it for 4 days, and then it's just like, wait, this is too much.
Yeah.
I'm not built like you guys, and it's impressive and
But, you know,
motivational.
to add to that, you are built like us, and in a sense, because you're fucking a warrior, you're a savage, and you're sitting here with us and today, and you're a part of us, so you are one of us. So what we're gonna do, Bram? I offered the little tequila toast. We're gonna hit the tequila. Is that okay?
Hey, it's NFL Sunday, right?
Yeah, it is NFL Sunday, so we're still staking on the Siete. Taj gave this to for me for my bachelor party. Well, his gift.
Okay.
So we're gonna hit this.
Hey, that was honestly the coolest bachelor party I've seen. Like, oh, you go to Vegas, you go play golf, you go do this. It's like cool. But you got to play in an NBA arena. Like
way too much. I'll take that one.
that was awesome. Like, it was cool to watch. A jealousy, and not being a part of that, and it was impressive that you had those type of connections to get in there.
Yeah, I think, the bachelor party thing, when like even guys like you, when you say how like impressive and how cool it was, it didn't really hit me until like, I think after I got done, when I was just kind of sitting back and it was just us brothers in the Toyota Center. And it was like, it wasn't just like our thing, but I realized how many childhood dreams was it for like Warren and Kiati, and like that was their thing.
Yeah.
And just to be on the Toyota Center. So obviously, Patrick's been a dear friend of yours, mine. Has been nothing but love since the beginning with him. And it's not like it's not like a giving thing. I guess it's weird to say, because I'm not a materialistic person, but when your friend's a billionaire, quote unquote, people always wonder what that's like. And it's like, I've never really looked at him differently in that way. And I've always, my first interaction with him was always like nothing but pure, pure hearted when he came to 9 and just wanting to know the story and for him to change his body and his mind. And I think it was at a point in time too, where like he was kind of transitioning with things in life. And I think 9 Innovations at the time was the place that kept him, locked in and focused, and just that evolution in time. But yeah, it's dope, man. It was a hell of a bachelor party. I tell Priscilla, like, I'm going to outdo her in everything. Everything. So thank you for coming on. Appreciate you, dog.
Yeah, appreciate it.
To the Daily Dose.
Okay.
What do you think about that one?
It's smooth. It's good.
Smooth. He said smooth. And with being smooth, he was out here drinking Liquid Death, getting to our sponsors before we kick the show off. We're going to go ahead and give him that Benjamin Blue Water, give him a real-time reaction, see if he likes it or not. It's one of our clients of ours.
I've seen this at the gym. I haven't had it yet. Seems pure. Okay. Everybody's drinking it now.
And you can give us full, this is all about telling your truth. So we all want the truth around here.
No, it's good. This is good water.
Okay.
I mean, water's water to me, but this is a little bit different. It's a little bit crisper. I like it. So,
my man, there you have it.
Yeah.
This is yours, by the way. Get to take that home. That's your shirt. That's your
my souvenir.
Also, Legends, as you can tell. Priscilla goes, "What are you wearing today?" I was like, "I've had this far ahead of curve that Taj is, bro." I think he gave this to me in 2023. I've only worn this thing twice. I wore one because you're a sponsor, so get your Legends discount code. 2, I have a special guy here for a special episode, so I wanted to break out a fit that was appropriate. So, okay. Legends, can't find this one, client. Sorry. Also, Sebastian Plumbing. You know Sebastian, right?
Yeah, I went to high school with him. Great guy. The first person I'm going to call whenever there's an issue with any pipe or anything plumbing related. Sebastian's my guy.
Damn, no shit. You went to high school with him?
Yeah, I went to high school with him.
Bro, the older I get, the more I realize how small this circle is at Congo.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Sebastian.
I was shocked when I saw him in there. And,
really?
And he's changed his body. He's changed the way he's rolling. I mean, it's great to see him every time I do in there.
Bro, he told me it was like a week ago. He'd come up. I think he was late. He'd really like with the gym. You know how we're persistent on time and showing up.
He's working.
He was always like, okay, when we were hard on him, he was like always apologetic, and he made it a point like, okay, this is the standard, and I want to do it. And he's obviously, you said he changed his body and all that, but he came up to me last week. He said, "Bro, I just wanted to thank you for building the dopest community." He said, "Yeah, the gym is fucking sick. Don't get me wrong, and the workouts, but it's like all these people here I've met and what you've created, well, your family, but I know you created it. And, I just love you, your bacha, your family, and it's just changed my life." And like, that was the coolest thing for me to hear, because it was such an unbiased, genuine, heart-filled, hey, man.
I mean, you're starting to bring up like sensitive subjects for me. It's like you think about the things that changed or saved my life and stuff, and I'm getting teary-eyed here at this point. But Congo is one of them. I was working out with Taj and out of the wheelchair. I'd walk around on my knees, do as much as I could. He'd watch me and stuff, but like y'all are my therapy every day. It's so therapeutic just to get in there, get the endorphins flowing. Everybody's so positive. there's times where I grab a towel and sit on the bench and just put it over my face and just like start crying. It hasn't happened recently, but at the beginning it was a lot. Like you guys were my safe space.
For sure, bro. Like, I mean, see, I didn't know where this was going to go today, and I was just kind of feel the waters, because I think when I introduce you to you, or when people introduce you, or I don't know what goes through your head, and I want to know what goes through your head. Again, this is all about telling the truth. This is a safe space for you, and it's I want people to know there's more to Bram than just what happened to you. So I don't want to be like, oh, this is this guy's story, because you were a fucking hell of a quarterback. Went to a shitty college, but hell of a quarterback at TCU, right?
Yeah.
Were you the starter?
No, I started off at
University
University of Houston. Got buried in the depth chart there.
You were a Cougar?
Yeah.
All right.
It was Case Keenum, Cliff Kingsbury,
You had the right to be a Cougar then.
Kevin Sumlin. They were really balling and rolling, and
that was quarterback for you too. That never changed. You were always a quarterback.
Yeah, I was always
role?
quarterback,
Okay.
and it was supposed to be Case Keenum and Bram Kohlhausen, the next guy up, redshirt freshman. Once he graduated, that's what I was convinced. Showed up there, was good, but I pulled the Sebastian on you. I was late to workouts. I was late to class. I was just always in trouble, but I was good on the field, and no coach could trust me. They just couldn't trust me with the ball in my hand. These are their 6-figure salaries. They got to trust into an 18-year-old kid, and I wasn't the guy, so I had to transfer to a junior college. Went to a junior college, and my offensive coordinator from University of Houston was now at TCU, and he called me. I called him because I needed a spot to play, because I got hurt at junior college. Only played 3 games. I had D1 AA offers all over the place, and just wanted to play major D1 football. So I called him. I asked him for a spot. There's no scholarship for me, which in my opinion is probably bullshit, because they ended up giving a scholarship to Matt Jokel like 2 months later, who transferred from Texas A&M. So I had to convince my parents that I wanted to go play for Coach Meacham at TCU. They had to pay private school tuition, so that kind of changed things for them, and ended up playing. Worked my way up the depth chart from 4 to 2.
Very nice.
And then there was one guy I just couldn't beat out, and it was Trayvon Boykin, and he was in the Heisman conversation for 2 years, and I wasn't. I was his backup. So I finished at TCU, and it's a great location, great place for me to be, and it's not a shitty college. It's great. Come on now.
I had to do it. It's right, bro. I was at University of Wyoming. You know how that goes.
Yeah, there is a rivalry there, but I think we moved on from those guys.
Well, you said, who was what's his name?
Trayvon Boykin.
Trayvon Boykin. Did he win the Heisman?
No, he was the 4th guy invited to New York, but that year they took 3.
Okay, well, what Wyoming has on you, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Josh Allen, who's your claim to fame quarterback?
Andy Dalton at this point.
I can't give you Andy Dalton. That's it?
He's still playing.
Quarterback.
Quarterback, who's that guy? Davey O'Brien? He won the Heisman.
Don't know that one
That was
either.
in the, like,
Taj ain't here. I'm
40s
not the
or
quarterback. I'm
something.
not the football guru. But yeah, I always want people to know, like, that's who you were, and there's like changes in life, Bram. You first mentioned when you're at U of H, right? What was going on, how that didn't work out, and how you got your way to TCU, and then looking at who was in front of you, like you didn't get your chance, quote unquote. But like, I don't know through this whole path that you've been on, or your religious view, or if you have one or not. But like, when I see things like that, I'm always like, that's the process, and those are signs from the universe or God. Like, hey man, this isn't meant for you. I'm saving you for something else. And, through these obstacles, we always try to figure out why me, or why did things happen. So I just always want to be like, you were a football player first and a great human. And that's what I want you to be known for. And then what I want people to add to that is your fucking resiliency and your adversity to be able to push through everything and be here with us to this day. And I want to get more into that story too. But before we get into that, how did you come? Was it through Taj? You came to Taj, or did you hear about us through the athletes? Or how did you eventually come to the gym? This was post TCU too, right? You weren't training for football?
No.
Okay.
I was fresh out of TCU, and then a buddy of ours was Tucker Rice.
Yeah, we know.
Tucker.
Well, hold on, man. Shout out to Tucker's a real SOB, man. That guy still takes our subs, still buys our gear, loves us. Another one of you, your type of guy and yourself, like, have just believed in us from the fucking beginning. But yeah, shout out, bro. I know I don't see you, but we miss you, and you fucking probably swole and jacked and on the Congo subs. We're gonna need your favorite flavor. But go ahead, man. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Tucker introduced our entire group of friends to Taj. It was during the shutdown, and everybody needed a place to work out, and we found an outdoor spot, and we went twice a week at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was great. It was great for everyone. It was probably the best thing that could have happened to me through the shutdown and COVID and all that stuff. Getting out of the house, seeing your buddies, sweating, keeping your distance, of course.
Yeah, but the crazy part about that, bro, was we were already social distancing before that. Like, nobody was really doing the shit that, more so like you and Taj's crew on the rooftop, because you had all that space. Like, that was already a thing that you guys were creating before it was a thing. And then you started hearing more people do it. It was like the perfect scenario for you guys. All right, cool. We're fucking outside. We're sweating, but we're separated all the way around each other. So we might as well just fucking work out and sweat.
Yeah. I knew about you guys through Nine Innovations. I've heard about you through Patrick. I always knew the athletes you guys had. And when y'all opened the gym, I just wanted to keep going back for more, staying hungry, because the workouts just reminded me of college athletics again. Like,
even on the rooftop.
Yeah.
With zero equipment. Well, there was.
Some balls and some ropes and stuff, and it was good. It was good workouts. I mean, it just reminds me I'm not going to the gym and just doing back buys, tries, and like doing the basic stuff. You're going and doing more functional athletic workouts that reminded me exactly what we did with our strength coach at TCU, strength coach at U of H. I mean, those guys were beasts. There was Donnie Summers and Larry Jackson. Those guys are memorable folks in my mind. I'll always remember them. I always have so much love for those guys.
Hell yeah. I mean, dude, COVID, I tell people all the time, like, that was like our blessing in disguise, because without COVID, Congo never opens, because we didn't have any overhead. Because I'm not at the Post Oak anymore. I'm just training clients out of my garage and traveling, and Taj is traveling and doing the rooftop. And so, like, dude, all of that was just work. We were blessed enough to have people like you and other people like to want to work out because of COVID. And it just, I broke my own rules as the host. Wow. You know what?
You want to answer?
We're going to have to put a pause right now, because we have a real-time Q&A on the pod.
Who we got?
Yo.
What up, bro?
Hey, bro. How you doing?
Good, man.
Man, you know what? You're a better, remember how we talk about being accountability and whatnot? You're better than I am, because I forgot about you. But then hold on, my phone rang, and then I'm on the pod right now. So this is actually perfect the way things work. I'm like, wait a second. I gotta take this call, because I asked Anthony to give me some Q&As last week, Aaron. You're on the pod right now, Anthony. And
Cool.
And I reached out to you, and then I actually fucking forgot. So, anyways, Anthony, we are on the podcast right now. I have a good friend, Bram, on the pod. Bram was a former What's up, Bram?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, man. You?
All right, we're live on the pod, so you're on.
We're rolling.
He was a former TCU quarterback, been a loyal Congo maniac. I think the vision of this podcast right now that I'm talking to both you guys, is I think life-changing. Unfortunately, we haven't got to his story yet, but unfortunately, Bram had an accident in a helicopter, and he lost his legs, and the adversity of him coming back and sitting here on this podcast, it's actually a great episode for perspective, because of some of the shit that you're kind of going through. And a little backdrop for you guys: Anthony is based in LA, California, I might speak. And I went out there 2017. Anthony, is that right? 2017?
Yeah, 2017, parallel times. Yep.
Cool. So I went out there 2017 to train Bradley Roby and a couple of other guys. My best friend Robert Haran was there as well. And then Anthony was a speed coach, strength coach out there doing his thing, hustling and bustling with some guys. And if anybody knows anything, LA is kind of weird, or shisty or shady. Everyone's out to get each other. And if you didn't know on the pod, the training industry is the kind of the same way. But, you know, we gravitated. We have mutual respect for each other. He's seen me grow, as we were just talking about COVID, Anthony. We were talking about how that's changed Bram's life. And I know how you can talk about it in the lunges and whatnot. But anyways, we got Anthony on the pod with the Q&A. Again, I think he can say that we've changed his life, and the gentleman in the chair can say that we've changed his life. So anyways, bro, you're on. So we're just going to freaking wing it. Whatever you got, whatever you want to talk about. We got a little segment here. And remember, Aaron, don't fuck this up from a producer standpoint. Me and Bram were talking. Don't lose that train of thought. So yeah, you're live.
Cool. Man, just to say what the brand has meant to me, Congo, you guys. I mean, I've been a growing fan of obviously just all the work you've done since LA, and then growing into it. Man, I got into my own relationship with your brother just over DMs and just out of just showing support, showing love for what you guys are doing. Is it your cousin Bacha? Am I saying that right?
No, that's my brother. That's my baby brother.
Oh, that's your brother. That's your baby brother.
Yeah, he ain't no baby no more, but yeah, Bacha.
No, definitely not. But man, just watching him as well with the AI, and we talking about keeping receipts, man. I watch for love in the comment section too. I'm that guy, so I wanted to tell him that I said like all the comments he's getting, the negative ones, like fuck those guys. But he's doing his thing, and I'm proud to just see what he's doing, because I know that's going to hit home and it's going to lead to some special things for you guys. But overall, man, just in my own journey, just the highs and lows, which I think we'll get to in a minute, but just to keep the light on Congo and the brand, really just keeping everything that I've gotten for myself. And when it comes to pushing your dreams and chasing what you want to, shit's not easy. Even with the success that I've found, and again, we'll get to that, it still gets hard to hold on to it. But again, the whole Congo family, the whole Congo brand, the gym, I'm all the way out on the West Coast, and I can feel the energy. I can feel how authentic all of it is, and it's just really kept me on the path that I needed to be on. It's kept my head strong, and it's been everything, man. It's just been such a light for me whenever I needed it.
That's love, bro. And we really appreciate it. And, actually, Bacha, he's done a good job. I think at first he used to get pissed about the comments, but now it fires him up. So
it's just keyboard warriors, man.
Yeah. And it was like, did you see, Kane footwear, right?
Not really, no.
You know what the Kane footwear is, Anthony?
Yeah, I got a pair.
So, bro, we got this guy's got a pair. We're not popping Kane. It's okay. No, chill. So, Bacha was like the first guy with the gorilla or the Yeti or whatever. Like, Bacha legitimately was the first guy to do this, like, before it went viral. Anyways, with AI and the world that's going on, Kane Footwear signs its first AI gorilla. So they're using the gorilla and marketing with the shoe.
Is there any patent or some sort of stuff? Like,
so the
patent lawyer.
Yeah, so the patent lawyer, Todd, Todd in the morning, right?
Yeah, I do.
So he actually helps Botch out. Before this even started, I don't know if I can give TMI on this stuff, because I don't, the fucking world, it's fucking changing and people are stealing things. The AI, dude, there's no really, it's hard to create what's real but isn't real. So who is to say that's mine or that isn't mine? Right. And that's the riff of AI right now. But as far as Bacha goes, when Bacha saw that, I was like, bro, when you're confident in yourself and you were that guy, you have to figure out how you want to go about this. Do you want to complain? Do you want to woe is me? Do you want to attack? What do you want to do? So he brainstormed. You never want to respond out of emotion. And now he's got a tremendous game plan that I think is going to take him to the next level. Remember Bram, how I was talking about how there's these things in life and it gets directed the other way. Yeah. Well, Bacha hasn't got where he needs to yet via the AI, but he's done tremendously.
It's really mature that he's, brainstorming, thinking about it, not acting out of emotion. That's something that I'm guilty of all the time.
Never want to do that. I'm pretty sure, Anthony, you felt that way too. Never want to do anything never want to do that emotion.
Nah, I never want to do anything out of impulse, man. It's just, I try to make all decisions from a neutral standpoint.
Yeah, that's how it always should be. But anyways, Bacha's got a game plan. He's coming for him with his own Congo gorilla. So the AI thinks his world, and that's when you start believing in yourself even more. So he's developing into his own man. I ain't worried about him. He'll be able to handle it.
Nah, he'll be good.
Yeah.
Cool. Man, I know you said you had some questions for me. I think I had a few for myself, man, because you and me don't get to rap too much. But I think in the questions, I think where you're always naturally hosting these shows and,
Yeah.
and the conversation.
I think that's
Got some for you
I
too,
think that's
man.
even I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
even better, and then even Bram can chime in on some of this stuff. I think it's just cool that
I was just gonna open it up to you, Brandon. So he beat me to the punch, man. This is for you too. I think I'll just pick. I got a few here. So, biggest lesson you learned in the last 5 years as a business owner that you would have gave yourself running by yourself independently 10 years ago.
so the biggest run that by man. This guy's intellect. I'm not an intellectual.
Tongue twister.
Go ahead one more time. That was a great question, but I didn't
You're
understand
good.
it.
You're good. So, I mean, business has been up. Is it 5 years? I don't
Yeah,
want
it was
to lowball.
Yeah, we just had we just had our 5-year anniversary of Congo, but
Congrats.
but we ventured off the journey Christmas Day of 2018. That's when the journey started, and then the grassroots of the journey was 2010. Our mom gave us investment money to create our own brand and not wear Michael Jordan and Nike.
Yeah.
That's the best brand there is.
That's tight, man. So no, the question being, the lesson what would be the biggest lesson you've taken away since obviously the gym's been open last 5 years that you would have gave to yourself rocking, independently, traveling, just this private one-on-one trainer 10 years ago?
Bro, so with that, I just really talked about this in the last episode. You have to fall in love with the shit.
Yeah.
Like, fall in love with the shit you just know you don't want to do. You got to do it. You're going to have to put the hours in. You're going to be at a hotel. It's not your vibe. You're going to have to listen to certain music that's elevator music, and then you have to wear certain clothes, and then you're going to have to figure out if an investor's going to pull through or if the investor bails. I think you have to, if I would tell myself, is fall in love with the suck, which is the process. And bro, at the end of the day, it's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. And every stopping point in business that you're trying to accomplish is a blessing in disguise for something greater. Because bro, if I was to stay with what I did, I would have been building someone else's gym. There would be no Congo. It would be a celebrity gym that it wasn't our name if the investors worked and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
it's a long story short, man, for the advice I give myself and I give to anybody in any situation, whether it's business or not, man, stay the course, fall in love with the shit, fall in love with the process. And bro, at the end of the day, what's meant for you is supposed to be on your path of life, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. It's on us to respond to the adversity and make the light of any situation. But that's how I feel. I think Bram's got some good stuff to add to that as well.
Yeah, I mean the thing you said there on responding is probably the most important thing. I mean, in my situation, the way I'm responding, I think is admirable. I think it's motivational. There's times where nobody sees the bad ones, the bad days. I mean, I got ringed up during a deposition that my Instagram that makes me seem like I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm all good. That's just a highlight reel. I mean, you're just seeing the highlight reel. And it's the way I'm responding is trying to put some content out there. So maybe there's another amputee out there that, thinks he's never going to be able to work out again, or not think he's going to be able to ride a bike or lift a weight or do certain things with his life because he's handicapped. And it's more like, look, here's what I'm doing. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, y'all are giving me the opportunity to move weight and I'm getting ridiculed for it. But I'm trying to respond in a positive way because I could just, give you the highlight reels of the bad days. That's not, nobody wants to watch those. I guarantee you that. So it's just how you respond in any situation, whether it's negative or positive.
Fuck yeah, Bram. Love it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's well said from both of you, man. Just in my answer, just in short, would align with you guys. Just whatever comes in your way, whatever obstacles come up, it's problems and solutions, and just not to dive too deep into the transition, but like you said, Dustin, and everything going on, let go at work, for push the gym in my own parallel, just happening now, and the way that you guys We're over at 9. My bad if I'm throwing the
No, 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 you're fine. No, you're okay. You're totally fine.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you push your brand, you try to operate as best as you can, as you know, respectful as you can, and you know, was just let go in short. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just problems and solutions. And I was pretty neutral. It was funny because you never know how ready you are until the shit hits the fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always said my mind's been in a way better place than it was, you know, down in LA, just angry, pushing, running through everything, right? Like I'll pick up the pieces later, but I'm just trying to go. And to just go through, man, it's always stay level-headed, list out the problems, list out the solutions, and then you can reverse engineer from there. And it doesn't have to be nearly as heavy as it has to be, because it's always, once you hang your hat on that, then you know which way to go forward.
Yeah, and I think, dude, what's great is that you called, and how this happened is there's times, so like, bro, like when I started running the half marathon, I did that because of Bram. Like, I never ran a half marathon. Remember, I posted, I was like, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Because, dude,
awesome.
This is when I was training in the heat. I didn't know what I was doing. There's a code. There's a whole training for long distance. I was just doing fucking, all right, it's 2 in the afternoon on a Saturday in July. I'm gonna go fucking run 12 miles. And and every time I wanted to quit, I fucking thought about your ass, and I'm like, dude, why the fuck would I not go hard, or why the fuck would I not do this when I got a friend that doesn't have his legs right now? I got
your feet.
I gotta push, man. And I think, you know, with the situation you're having, just like how my situation was with at the time, you know, with the depression and how people treat you and how I do things, bro. Like, if you look at life through that lens. And like, even now, like, I'm seeing Bram sitting here. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are we complaining about? Dude, we can go do anything. And so can you. And so can all of us. But it's like, you look at someone like this, and it's like, I love that he's in my chair right now, because he, you know, he couldn't have been, but now he's here. And it's like, bro, whatever you're going through, man, if you have the fucking will to do it, just how Bram's fucking sitting here, he has the will to still be here. He has the will to wake up every day. He has the will to go fucking work out and be a leader to other people, to inspire and to just better himself. Dude, you can do anything. And it comes down to will and adversity. And I'm pretty sure you can add more to that too, Bram.
No, I mean, it's all like he said earlier. It's just the way you respond in situations, and I feel like the best way to do it is just respond positively. And maybe if I change one person's life, one amputee's life, like, I think I did something. Like, maybe it turns into 2, and then 4, and then, you know, it keeps going from there. It's just probably like your gym. You know, let's help somebody. Let's motivate some people to work out, and then it turns into a community that you've built, and it's incredible to watch, and I'm proud of everything you guys have done.
Yeah, bro, and that's living testament, man. You can go build your community. You can, just like you messaged me about the loyal clients and the people follow me, just fucking bet on yourself, man. And if you fucking lose, quote unquote lose, at least you can hang your hat on, man, I did this shit my way, and I didn't have to answer to nobody. I didn't let somebody call me a name or say I couldn't do nothing. At least I did it on my watch.
We're capable of anything. Like you said, for me, I can do whatever I need to do. For me, it's a lot more expensive, but I can do it. I can do it. I'm about to go skiing. Gonna learn how to ski, and
nice.
I gotta have a whole new equipment that nobody else owns. I gotta go figure that out, but I can do it. I mean, I thought I'd never ski again, but there's a foundation out there that's willing to help, and they're gonna take me through it. If I want to have all that equipment myself, it's gonna cost me, but it's something I need to learn and want to go do and be a part of something I used to enjoy as an able-bodied human.
Love it.
No, I love it, man. And Bram, on that note, man, I'm a fan of people's mentality, man. Like, me and Doe is just these big. Who's not a Kobe fan, right? Just the whole Mamba mentality. People find that at different times and in different ways. So when everything happened, you lost your legs. Obviously, there was a dark time there. There was a transition period. Obviously, it was hard, right? You could have been thinking the worst, whatever it may be. And then when it changed, what was that like? What was it that kind of that was that turning point. That light switch went off and was like, you know what? This is what it's going to be, and this is what I'm going to do, and that's the decision I'm making. Where did it come from? What was it? Because it could be as simple as family, doing this for my kids or doing this for me. But how did you navigate that? Because what you've gone through, just from what I'm hearing, man, is something less than 1% go through. You know.
Great question, and you stole my question. Good job, man.
Damn, my bad.
Good job. That's awesome. Good.
I mean, coming out of the hospital, I knew I wanted to get out of the wheelchair. Having to rely on somebody to unload and load your wheelchair and get out and have them push you around or wheel around. I wanted to get out of that. And Taj is the one who was hands-on with me at the Congo gym, making sure I got the strength to get out of a wheelchair. And then I started walking around, moving around, and just seeing my progress throughout the first year of recovery. It was motivational from there. And then I'll tell you that once I heard this so many times from, doctors, physical therapists, hey, you're going to attack this first year. But once you get to that first year, the hardest year you're going to face is that second year, because you're going to accomplish all your milestones. You're going to accomplish all of your goals. And then what are you going to do next once you accomplish those? So you start your goals start to plateau. I can only lift so much weight, so that plateaus, and then you just kind of like, what's next? And you kind of hit this rut, like, okay, I fought this hard to get here. What do I do next? This is the next, this is the rest of my life, which I'm 33. Life expectancy into 80s nowadays, I think. Like, what am I going to do for the next 50 years with no feet? Like and then there's motivation for having kids, being able to live a normal life, being able to bring happiness to the work environment, not having to, not telling Dose forever that I'm not going to get on his podcast, like getting out of your, getting out of your comfort zone and finding more goals and more 5-year, 10-year goals. I had to sit down and write those down, and to keep me motivated, keep me hungry, because I accomplished year 1. Year 2 was the hardest battle I've ever been through, mentally and emotionally, socially, spiritually, and now I'm I'm on year 3, and I think I'm doing all right, but there's a lot more years left of this disability, so we'll see what we can make the most of it.
Yeah. Man, that's beautiful, man. I appreciate you sharing that. Hey, what are we complaining about, Dubs?
That's what I say, bro. Bro, I'm smiling right now.
Same.
I don't know if it's a moment I'm supposed to be smiling, but it is like, I'm even just hearing him talk, man. I'm very happy just to have that perspective, and this is for everybody out there, man. There's even you, bro. Like, there's somebody out there that has it worse. No matter what it is, there's somebody out there.
Somebody has it worse. I mean, it might not be in this country or neighborhood or continent, but it's a lot worse for a lot of people. And even in my situation, somebody has it way worse. And like, thank God I have my hands, my feet. I mean, that's fine, but like, I can feed myself. I don't have to rely on you handing me this water. Like, that's huge. It's huge. I mean, I know people that have it worse. I've seen them. I see them at the hospital. See them at the physical therapy office. Like, it could be a lot worse. And thank God I'm a cat. I land on my feet. But I could be my neck or my back. I'd be dead or paralyzed and shit. It could have been a lot worse. And bless my mom. She had to go through this. Bless my family. Jeez, like, I couldn't imagine what I'd do if I was a brother and they were in the ICU and in a coma. They shout out to all of them. They got me through this.
Yeah,
and they still do every day. It's a battle for all of us, the entire Colossian family, that we have to deal with this every day, and they do a good job at it.
And I think what you said right there too, Bram, and applies to you, Anthony, is like, he says you're year 3, right?
Yeah.
Post with all this, and it's an everyday battle, and that's for him, it really is like, dude, it's every day. You wake up every day, every day. And, you know, what I preach about every day is the same shit. Every day you got to go get it. Every day you got to go get it. So if you apply that mentality of like, he's fighting a battle every day and he's got to work through it, and you put that in your head of like, every day I got to go get it. And that's the willingness. You have, Bram, you have the willingness to do it every day. May it always be in your head, I want to, or do I want to go run at fucking 3:30 in the morning, or do you want to go travel to a client? No, but you, I, and Anthony, we do this stuff because it's the will to do it, and we have people that are looking on to us, leaning on us, and we're the quote unquote strong ones, and we're going to show people why we're strong, and we're going to show why we have our bad days, or the days you don't want to come to Congo, or the days you text, I'm not coming, then you do come. It's all about the will and waking up and doing it every day. And I admire that with you, Bram. I try to live it every day because that's how I want to operate. And I think, Anthony, if you want to be successful, and, you know, I know you're doing, and you put in the lunges, you put in the work in, man, just take it day by day and have the will to want it that bad.
Man, it's all a gift. It really is. I think we're just leveling and grounding yourself always in that gratitude. For me, it's always just, even these hard times, even this now, they're gifts, and you have to believe it. These hard times are gifts for you to grow, because these hard times, they're given to you to level up. And had they not come, then maybe you're a little more content with where you're at, and maybe you don't move the way that you are capable of. And if you don't believe that, then you just think things are happening to you out of, you know, in spite, and somebody out there, some higher calling wants your life to be what it is, and that's just not true. So but you can choose that. You know what I mean? That's where we call you would say the weaker minded people they fold. But you just have to see it through. You just have to see it through. You got to stay grateful. You got to stay grounded, and you got to do it consistently.
Oh, yeah.
I think the testament to everything you and your family have built is, it's exactly, you know, the last time we talked this, you guys just don't miss, man. There isn't that entitled, man, I did this for 5 days, 6 days straight, so let me get this rest day. And again, on an objective science scale, yeah, to take rest days, whatever it may be. But again, you guys are always doing something.
Okay, not to interject on the science thing. Again, I got Bram in the chair, but I'm like, you think science gives a fuck the way his hips and backs feels and how he's got to get up? Fuck the science. Get the shit on. What do you call those things, Bram? You got a certain name for these?
Prosthetics.
Oh, I didn't know if you had a custom like cool name yet.
No,
the Bram 7.9s or some shit like that.
No, these need to be.
Anyways, bro, he wakes up, puts the fucking prosthetics on, and he gets under the fucking bar, and they got Cole and Bacha on him, and he's squatting fucking 135 or trying to. Like, that's why I get. I know, this guy said, but he is barbell squatting. But what I'm getting at is, bro, like, it's okay with the science stuff. We're performance coaches, but this is all about like mental. Like, and look at him, man. He's got to deal with this shit. Fucking go do it, man. Go do the work and do it again and do it again and do it again. And then it really sounds corny, but it's not corny. It's the David Goggins shit. It calluses your mind. It calluses your body, and you just keep doing it. And it's like money, bro. Money don't sleep. You put money in an account. You let that thing build compound interest. Let that thing grow. What happens in 3 to 5 years? It fucking grows. And it's the same thing with your work. It's the same thing with this physical level. It's the same thing for the people out there who want to just get into things. Start and do it every fucking day until you master it. And you know, when you guys both master something, you fucking never do. You keep putting the time in. Oh yeah.
I want to share, man, just well, first let me ask you.
Yeah.
What's been the evolution of what the lunges have meant to you from the very start to what they are to you now?
From the very start, I was like, oh shit. Why are my legs so goddamn sore? Going back to the sore legs. And I couldn't walk or sit in the toilet or any of that. And I'm like, I never want to feel like this again. Then when I heard Corey was, you know, what the protocol was, I'm like, damn, this is crazy. How come I can't do it? And I hated that feeling. And then I started getting into it. And then obviously, God rest his soul, Kobe passed. And it turned into a respect thing. And that respect thing turned into something beautiful because it was a time where we were building. And, you know, that building process and the lunges and the dedication to Kobe, like, it took us to a next level of focus. It was like 0 Dark 30 time. all right,
Yeah.
we're going to lunge every day until, a year out of respect for Kobe. And while we're doing that, we're building our dream. Like how sentimental or monumental is that point? And then as far as now, it's more of like daily meditation, man. It's getting out there. It's starting. That's my cold plunge, or that's how Taj cold plunges or lunges. Like it's really to start. Like I could just go work out at the gym, but it's the first thing of putting my feet on the floor and lunging first. Again, back to science, right? Oh, you shouldn't do cardio or stuff before. And here I am. I go lunge, and then you'll see me in the morning, and I'm squatting and doing all this stuff. So it was the process of building a dream, and it calloused our mind. And now it's just like it's a staple in your life that you don't want to let loose because it works physically and mentally.
All right, we're even because you fucking took what I was gonna say too,
Okay.
man. So, no, I mean, so that I figured that much, but the lunges for me have been exactly that. They've just been my form of meditation. It's you go through, and man, I used to hate doing half a mile, but everything that happened, I was out there. Obviously, my emotions are running high, so I went a whole week every day where I lunged a mile, and I was like, you're numb, you go numb to it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously those emotions fade, so how do I make it my own? And I had a time where I was like, I'm just gonna do half a mile today. There was nothing about it. I was like, let me just dial this back with no thought. Let me just do half a mile. I got to it, and it just I was too much in my high. Like, call it a runner's high. I was in my flow state, and I was like, now we're doing a mile. So from that point on, that day, it was like 2 weeks in, I said, why do I even care for these lunges? And Rachel, my wife, she was like, why do you even do those lunges? Because you over here complaining. You don't have to do those. And it was exactly that. It was my form of meditation, because I don't know if this is just me, because you're a maniac, and as it goes, if I do a run, that first 5 minutes running, you're kind of just like, this sucks. Your body's fighting you. Like, why are you running? My lunges, I'll do the same thing. I'll get maybe that first quarter, just inside of that first quarter mile, my body's just hating me. Like, yo, stop. Like, why are we doing this? And there's just so much resistance. And give or take around that point, then the body just finds it, right? It doesn't hurt anymore, and now I'm just locked in my thoughts. I'll always have my AirPods out there, but man, most of the time I don't even know what I'm listening to. A good other half of the time, like there's not even any music playing, and it's just me and my thoughts and what's next, what's coming. And before you know it, I'm half a mile in. I'm give or take 3/4 of a mile through, and then my legs start talking to me. But given everything that happened up until that point, I'm fueled up. Yeah. Now let's go. Mm-hmm. Now let's go. And then that's where I'll pick it up, because it's hard, but I found what I needed to. And then it's really just that mental edge once I'm done for whatever I got laid out, for everything I got to get done. I know somebody else out there, you worked out. Somebody else woke up at 3:30 in the morning. You did too? Cool. But how many people are going to say they woke up that early and they lunged a mile?
Facts.
And because I know that isn't true, I'm already winning. And it gives me that mental edge to be able to say, you didn't do it, I did. Mm-hmm. And then, by the way, I lifted. I'm going to the gym, and I'm going to lift. So now you're behind. So it really just makes me feel, from a personal standpoint, a mental standpoint, a business standpoint, that if you're in front, I'm catching up. And if you're behind, you're not catching me. And that's why it's a mile. And that's why it's just that's my routine. Every other day, it's a mile, and it's non-negotiable.
Yeah, dude, that's what I preach. That's what I live by. And I guess we'll find out 10 years from now if it's going to be existing. But Anthony, I know you probably had some more. I'm going to hold you for a whole episode, but it was perfect just to have you on, with Bram being here, with everything you're going on. And for you guys, I know you kind of heard a little bit. Same thing with me, having a transition with the gym and clients and figuring life out. So I thought this was it worked out perfect, because you have a guy sitting here in this chair, Bram, and he's the ultimate adversity shaker and mover. Inspires the shit out of me, and I hope he inspired you, man. And I hope you take, everything he said to light, and know that you can do anything you want, man. So, Bram, you got anything for Anthony? Regal Pool. Summer's just better with the darn pool in your backyard. Regal Pools builds award-winning custom pools for families across Houston made for memories, built to last like America. Ready to get started? Call Josh at Regal Pools and tell him Dose sent you. Or see their links in the show notes for more information. Big shout out to Legends. This is one of our best sponsors, the best sponsor, the best clothing out there. What we got to do, though, is a new way to get the Legends promo for you guys out there, for all the subscribers and shares out there. There's a new link that we're going to put. Is it right here, Aaron? There's a new link that we're going to put right here specifically to get the Legends discount code. Legends was introduced by my older brother, Taj. He was actually one of the first ones to ever wear it, I feel like, and then he got me on it, and then it was DeAndre Hopkins, and thankfully, when Hop was on the podcast, he gave us the blessing of God and got us this little partnership with Legends. But it's some of the best stuff. They're doing great stuff with us at the gym, too. We got new gear at the gym, so be sure to use the code. It is a new link. It is a new everything. So scrap the old one. It don't work. And scammers, step away.
No, man. I mean, it's non-negotiable. 1 mile.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Okay, hold on. It's Bram himself. Hold on. Is it every day or every other day? What are you telling him, Bram?
Whatever his schedule looks like.
Okay.
Whatever he's got to do. But when he goes out there, it's a mile.
Okay. Well, there you heard it from Bram, man. Well, Anthony, I appreciate you coming on, bro. We could chop this up definitely some more, and I'm glad it worked out this way. But I appreciate you, man. We're gonna put Anthony's socials at the top here of this podcast in the corner. I know you're not here, but I'm looking at the thing right now, and you're in the green screen.
It's funny you say that, because on that note, I took all my damn socials off, man.
Oh, that's right, man. You're locked in. You're locked in.
I know.
So we're gonna put a picture of me and Anthony in LA together, and I'm gonna manifest for you to help you out. I'm gonna put a picture of me and Anthony right here, Aaron. Put it right there, and in a year from now, we're gonna have this same talk and see where Anthony's at and see where the fuck he's at. So there you go, bro. I'm putting the pressure on.
Go make it
happen.
Put it in the calendar.
All right, bro. I appreciate you calling. Thank you, man.
Thank you for having me, Bram. To be a light for somebody like Dose, man. Somebody special, man. Keep shining, keep doing your thing. Dose, thank you. Appreciate you for everything, man. So keep it going. Thank you for having me. I'll see you guys later.
Say less, do more. My man. All right, brother.
All right,
guys.
Bye. Sorry, they went sideways without
that's
it.
a
It
great
worked
guy.
out perfect.
I mean, seems like you had a lot to say and a lot of questions to ask. And
Yeah.
I have some questions that are probably too generic for you. But
No, go ahead.
They're guest questions. You know,
Go ahead.
they're
Guest questions. I got to ask my questions too.
Yeah.
It's a great pod so far.
Well, how did you get into fitness and training? What were you doing before you started? Doing this for money.
Okay, so now that you're in the man cave,
Yeah.
take a look around, man. Just absorb it all right now.
I like those photos over
Those are nice.
there.
Other than those, look around.
Okay.
What do you see, man?
Child.
All this machismo. You see this guy here? See that guy there? See that guy there? You see the guy behind you? Schwarzenegger. Stallone. Bruce Willis. Speaking of that, I need a Bruce Willis Die Hard in here. What am I doing? Also, this is for the viewers out there. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes, Aaron, I'm looking at the camera. I'm not pointing to something back there. And Aaron, do you know what Die Hard is? Okay. Bram, you know what Die Hard is?
Yeah.
Okay, making sure. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. We're going to put that on socials. We're going to drop this around Christmas. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Gunnar Peterson, I think you should chime in on this one in the comment section now when it's released. But no, man, it was really it was these guys. The Arnolds, when my dad, he wear a red bandana and he'd clean the trucks and he'd have the over the top. This is an over the top movie, and the arm wrestling and just what men and masculinity and what everything it is now. But we're bringing it back.
Did it start in Wyoming?
Yeah, man, it was like my dad watching these movies growing up, watching Rocky, watching Rambo, watching these movies, and I always wanted muscles. And my dad used to have the biggest, dude. I know we all talk about our parents probably, but dude, his forearms and his hands were like a bear. His forearms were like 3 of mine. That's where Taj got his legs and calves.
Yeah, mine are on fire from your workouts this week. So.
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah.
They should be. Taj's calves, he's got those because my dad's legs are fucking insane.
So fast.
And it was just that growing up. And then obviously we got into sports, but you got to realize we were brown kids in Wyoming. So the influence, there was no influence for us. My influence was Taj, and Taj's influence was Mo, and Mo loved Shaq. And it all started with Shaq. And then when Mo kind of got out of the whole basketball playing stuff, you know, obviously what happened after Shaq, you had Penny. And that was Taj's kick to everything. Penny, obviously Jordan, but Penny and then Kobe. And then Taj was more of my influence in sports because now he's doing them and he's just learning them. He doesn't have a fucking AAU coach, doesn't have a strength coach, he's just going down in the good old YMCA hooping it up with the old guy. Yeah. And just exploring and figure it out. But he was athletic.
That's the best way to play basketball. You're going in there battling with a guy down low who knows the 80s. Yeah, you're going. They're getting physical down there, and that's the best time I learned how to play basketball at the Houstonian. Getting beat up by the older guys,
the old heads,
so,
the old guys.
Yeah.
So he was doing that. Obviously led the way. Athletic. You know, he tore his ACL. His perfect segue. Thank you, Bram. You're a great host right now. Tore his ACL, and the first ACL repair they did was at the time, this is 2000, he graduated 06. I think it was his junior year of high school, so that puts him at 2001 maybe? Is that what it was? Maybe? Or 02. When he tore his ACL in his junior year or freshman year of high school. Anyways, getting to what I was talking about, you being a host, Joe Rogan recently just had John Cena on the podcast. Great podcast, by the way. I'm not really a John Cena guy. I love wrestling. John Cena got my respect, but I was listening to the podcast and they were talking about ACL tears. And Rogan was talking about with his experience, he felt cadavers were the best way to replace an ACL. You don't want to do a patellar tendon because how hard it is and this and that. And I'm sitting there listening to him. I say, man, I would love to sit there and talk to Rogan about cadavers and proper ACL treatments. So I believe, Rogan, you're wrong. I don't think the cadaver is the way, especially in his reference, he was talking about MMA athletes and whatnot. So in my eyes, those are mid-30-year-old freaks of nature, athletic guys. From our studies and what we've been through, you would never put a cadaver in a athletic body. And he talked about re-tears, how it happens so fast because they think they're ready. And I think that happens because of the cadaver. The cadaver should not be put into a athletic body or a kid or youth under still growing. A cadaver would be for somebody like Aaron, who's unathletic as fuck and has horrible posture and hasn't changed his goddamn body since he came to Houston. We got to lock up his goddamn diet, get him on the Tajabolic, and get rid of all the cookies that Lexi's making at home for him. No, but cadavers are more for older people, our moms, our dads, or uncles, or whatever, in my opinion. So Rogan, I believe you were wrong. Just saying. But Taj had cadaver, blew his ACL again. I think they did a hamstring, blew his ACL again. And then patellar tendon. So he actually got to do a study, which is, I think you asked me about my CU shorts I was wearing that day.
I was asking you about the sweats you had.
Yeah, so Bram, Bram says we're a little aggressive. Cue the dose core thing, Aaron.
I'm on everything, creatine, sangria, warrior. They tried taking me out. They tried not investing in me. They tried saying my shit don't work, but we're still fucking here.
Mike Fabia just made the video. Bram's like, man, you guys are aggressive. Talking about the 4 days, right? And he comes to me, oh, were you the CU fan before Dion or after Dion? If you've been in Congo, you know what's about to happen. Well, motherfucker, I actually was telling him the story.
Deion Sanders training.
Taj went to CU Boulder with a guy by the name of Dr. McCarty, and they did a study on him with the ACLs. And they did a patellar graft on him. And again, it's just life, man. Shit happens. That's why I'm afraid of surgery. Don't know why I'm saying afraid of things, but fuck. He got blood clots in that knee. Shit happens, unfortunately. And he almost lost his leg on his left ACL. So when he got those blood clots and then he got staph infection, it was the scariest. And you talked about it was a deposition you said you're going through?
Yeah.
So Taj was actually got served papers by our local sheriff while he was literally about to lose his leg. He walked in our motel in our house and he got served papers for some bullshit with our other side of the family that we don't get along. And I'm like, dude, this guy's about to lose his leg, and you guys have that. So just kind of relating to what you were kind of going through and just mentality, and I want to get into more of that. But anyways, that happened to him. Thankfully, he didn't. But he went under a study, and patellar tendon is the way, apparently. You have a higher likelihood of, tendonitis and whatnot, but I think with the proper treatment, and it's 2025 with, everything that we have to use, shoot, I'm going that every time. I think Warren did the same thing. Warren, Warren?
Yeah, at your bachelor party.
Yeah. He's on the road to recovery, but he went with patellar as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rogan, I think you're wrong. We can bait about it. Hopefully this gets to you. Maybe you fuck with what I say. Maybe you don't. Cena? Can't see me. But yeah, that was your question. But because of Taj. The Stallone, my dad, and then Taj was athletic, and I hated that he went through that, and it got me into sports performance, and I mixed all that together with bodybuilding and machismo and not hurting people, and I got hurt as well, tore my ACL. So I'm like, I want to know how to do this stuff so it doesn't happen to other people.
And so the way you train is different than everybody I've ever been with. Even the athletic guys at U of H and TCU, that you train differently. It's definitely way more functional, high energy. It's a hell of a workout. Who do you base that off of, though? Like, where did that come from? Did you just creativity? Like, where did it come
Bram?
from?
Oh, I'm in a hot. As you can tell, that's why I'm in this chair.
Yeah.
Bram, Aaron wanted to give you this chair today. Maybe we'll just give it a Bram. I don't give a damn Bram coming or not. This is my chair. No, but we to answer that, man. Again, it's blessings that I didn't think of at the time. So when I was learning at college at Wyoming, I was just volunteer hours watching the football team, basketball team, doing everything I can. So there's my time there. And that eventually got me to Athletes Performance, which is known as Exos. I think you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
You have had, yeah. It's now Exos, and that's where I really learned a lot. And I said, man, they taught me the programming and this and that. And I was like, okay, I really feel confident. And that's where I, got to work with Derrick Rose, and the reason why I was there, because the ACL training.
Is that his knee?
Yeah, so it was so cool how that got to happen, like how God planned that out, and I was at his location to work on the ACL because that was the reason why I wanted to be there. So after that, I learned from another gentleman, because I still don't have a job. I'm doing internships. I've been working for free for so long. And then that gentleman, I really liked how he was programming, and that's where I got like the rounds and the blocks and the clusters. And then the functionality of Athletes Performance and the safetiness of it, not getting guys injured, and then taking a little bit more that I learned from my other mentor, and then taking what I've learned from Gunnar Peterson from a creative standpoint, exercise uniqueness, purpose and why, changing planes, not making it overcomplicating, but understanding the body. Like, he helped simplify something so complicated in my mind, and he taught me like the fairy dust, like what is it? Yeah, what is it about his workouts? What is it? And he taught me that. So I mixed that, and then obviously I volunteered at the high school while under learning all that stuff. So these guys, I trained him in high school. They were kind of like my guinea pigs. And then when I made it to Houston, the guy that I was learning under bailed on me. So at 23 years old, when I had Andre Johnson and Arian Foster and Owen Daniels, all those dogs that are still with us to this day, I had to just tell the guys that I was employed with, because they're looking at me as the workout guy. Mm. So I said, all right, fuck it. I'm going to just do, because I was so used to being the second fiddle. I never was the man in the arena.
You weren't in the throne.
I wasn't in the throne. And because of that, it's a little easier to coach, in the sense of, I have a leader. I know my role. I'm going to just, kill and just coach and help and do what I say, do as I do. I was never the boss. And I was okay with that. I didn't want to be. And so here I am. I'm telling these other trainers at the gym, this is how we're going to do it. And everything I did, dude, was based off of my knowledge from everything I've learned from everybody, and then putting my touch to it. And fortunately, it worked. Drake came back. Arian had a Pro Bowl year. He was literally coming off. He broke his back, and I helped rehab that. And GQ had a Pro Bowl years, and all these guys that I helped out. I was like, okay, I'm doing something. but I knew I wasn't the best because I'm like, I'm only 23 years old. It was such a blessing and a curse. And my biggest fear, bro, was when a guy like Dre walked in, even though I didn't know who he was, I didn't know who Dre was. I wasn't like football. That's why I said Taj is the football guy.
Wyoming
You know
guy.
that shit. And I tell Taj, Dre obviously had this aura of presence about him, but then I'm like, all right, this is what I got to do. So like, you just believe in yourself, know your craft. And he came back. So yeah, and then I met Corey, and that came into the more bodybuilding and the powerlifting, and I think that, and then COVID, having to be fucking creative with nothing, and investing and getting equipment and stuff. All that created what you see now is. So it's been an evolution, and it will continue. I think it should be a continued evolution, and I take pride to make sure you guys never have the same workout I have on these.
That's my next question. Is when do you plan these out for the week? Like, do you don't give us too much information. Don't give us the antidote, but like every day I'm like, wait, how do you even think of this? Like, how do you even come up with that mixture of workouts? And it makes sense after you see it and after you feel it. And you're like, wait, that is so creative. Hey, where did it come from?
Yeah, you got something?
I was just gonna say, this is awesome. He can plug the episode that's coming out this week. That was a question that Thebe asked, was how do you come up with workouts, and when do you release the workouts?
Okay.
So we can plug.
We're gonna plug it. I'm gonna answer it too on top of that. So like, I want everybody to know, dude, it's Bacha. I'm going to say Bacha, Cole, and Halima are the biggest blessing. I'm saying those three because they were the ones that set it all up for me. Dude, at first when we opened Congo, I was writing the workouts while I was working out at 4 a.m, and we were putting it together. Yeah. And Bacha, everybody's like, man, there's got to be a better way in doing this because we're not getting to work out. And then I'm like, yeah, you're right. So then I'm like, I didn't know how to, but dude, we didn't know how to do this shit. Like, we had just got all this Sorinex equipment. We're trying to figure this out. Like, I've been leaning more in a lot of my failures. Like I mentioned last week with some clients I had, like how hard I was on myself. And then I'm like, okay, how can I make this easier on them? So then what I did was I started sending them the day of. And then when I started sending the day of, I got into a routine of like how to send the workouts and the flow. And then they got better in how to change the whole gym because what goes in my head sometimes is a pain in the ass in their eyes because they got to flip things and move things.
The flow of the workout is a science in itself, and I'm not sure who comes up with that. But the way y'all flow it around, because at the beginning of y'all's workouts, there was like traffic jam. It's like, hey, this should be over there in that corner, but I'm just a client. Like, but now it's like so much more smooth that. It's got to be, Halima and Bacha and Cole and everybody coming together to think about,
Yeah, it initially was me because I was the guy at 9 at the time. I was doing all of it. Like, I was doing everything. And then, Taj came, I showed him, and he started helping me. And then, so that's 4 years that I was doing it, right? So I said, all right, Bacha, you guys got it. Like, in my head, I thought I was the guy. I knew how to set the stuff, but now it's your turn to learn and figure it out. Now it's safe to say is those guys are the ones that got it. Like Bacha, and Cole and Halima. Because Halima writes the board. You don't get the beautiful board. You think it's such a like small detail, but that board and how it's written makes everybody day. It's so important to the workout. Is it not? Like when you see it and you're able to read it, and then the day you're like, damn, where's the fucking handwriting at? What the fuck? It fucks up the workout, low key. But it's them, man. They've run that thing like a machine, and I usually ride it. If I have a 5:30 a.m. client, I get a 6:30 break to 7. My next client's at 7. I'll write the next day's workout in that little 30-minute window because I knew how it flowed at 6 a.m. And that way they have the afternoon to, all right, Dose wrote all this, to write everything out. And then that night they set it all up. And luckily enough, they're passing it on, which is why we need legitimate, hardworking interns who don't flake and make excuses and want to work hard and pick things up for this internship that's coming up. But it's all them, man. That little window, and they spin, and it's a science. And without them, the flow doesn't work. It all is a team, man. It's all as a team.
Yeah. Teams make the dream work.
Oh, yeah. Any others?
Not off the top of my head. I can keep going off the thing.
No, that's good. So now that you asked some of those questions, I wanted to ask, And if I ever overstep the nitty gritty of what actually happened to you and what all you're allowed to talk about, I know we kind of jumped around, but it was great to have. Yeah, you and him were solid. It was great to have Anthony on, and he's never. This is a moment, everybody. Sly has never went to Bram.
He was scared of me and barking at me in my wheelchair.
Yeah,
he didn't like the wheels.
He had to work through the wheelchair, but
he didn't like the prosthetics.
Mm-hmm. And with the training with 7, you got to have your dogs work through it. So when that was happening, I said, no, we got the leash, brought him around him, put some treats around him so he knows it's not it's uncomfortableness. So like that's his way of being like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then even today, he was like, he was actually pretty solid.
Yeah,
he
was
brought
awesome,
him out.
yeah.
He ran right to you. But yeah, we worked through it. Yeah, man, what actually occurred, if you want or don't want to talk about. And then I really want to dive into the mental aspect of it, because I know to this day it's still not easy. At least I wouldn't be easy. And we talked about how it's every day. And then those early moments, like where you're like, what the fuck? Like, did you question your religious beliefs? Were you mad at somebody? Were you damn, we just caught that on camera. He knows we're about to get deep. But yeah, little stuff like that, man. If you're what you can talk about, and then, elaborate on that. And then I want to elaborate on the journey when I first saw you, and then we'll close it out.
So it was Cinco de Mayo, and there's an event going on at a buddy's ranch, and so I went down, drove from Austin to it, and was feeling like I was on top of the world. Just got a good bonus from my boss. Life was good at the time, and went out to the ranch. Buddies out there, meeting new people, just enjoying the ranch, and there was a helicopter out there, and I ended up getting on it, and that's kind of the last thing I remember. I got on the helicopter, and I woke up in the hospital out of a coma, like a month and a half, 2 months later.
It was 2 months.
It was like a month and a half or so. It was a medically induced coma, and my brothers were working and then driving at midnight to San Antonio, almost every other day, trying to help my mom go through decisions. My brother had like the medical power of attorney, thank God, and they had to make the decision to amputate my feet. He wanted to save them, or at least let me have the decision to keep them.
But you weren't able to comprehend then, right? Is that
no? What they do is they'll wake you up out of a coma and they tell you the facts.
Okay.
Let you decide, and then you have to sign a piece of paper. Then they put you back to sleep, and then they go ahead with the amputation.
And that's what happened with you?
No, okay. I would have said no, keep them.
Okay.
But I would still be in a wheelchair right now. I'd probably still be in a wheelchair.
Bruh. I'm telling you, man, these dogs.
They sense everything.
I am not tripping at all. I'm about to start crying.
And so my brother had to make the tough decision, and there's a infection in my foot, and so it was spreading, and I'm below the knee amputee, so it's a lot easier to learn how to walk when you have your knee, and you're not above the knee. So he wanted to make sure it was, if we had to do the amputation, it was below the knee.
And at the time, this is just one, or they're talking about both?
They did one. I'm not even sure, because I refuse to read the medical reports. It's like 16,000 pages of medical stuff, or 1,600 or something. I don't know. It's too much for me, and I just know I don't have my feet. But the one was amputated before the other, and they thought they were going to be able to stop the other one, but the infection, it's the same infection you'd get in the Middle East with like a dirt and and all that stuff.
Come on, thank you. I know he got you.
Love you, big boss.
Come on, you gotta finish the story. Come on, Sly,
and so they were both amputated, and
he's gotta finish the story.
Next thing you know, I woke up out of a coma with no feet. I mean, that was probably the scariest part of my whole story. Is I woke up out of sleep, and I didn't have feet, and I seriously thought it was a dream. I was like feeling like, where's my foot? Like, what the hell is going on? And start crying. There's a nurse in my room. I asked her what happened. She couldn't tell me a straight answer. So with all the medicine on me, I
So at the time, only thing when you wake up, it's just there's
I don't
no
have
family
feet.
or anything, and you're
No,
just
and in the room at the time, there was no family. I think my best friend was there, Chase Russo. He came to the hospital a bunch. So did a couple other people, but he kind of just broke it to me. Like I was crying, I was yelling at nurses, like they didn't deserve that, and I I regret all that. But I didn't know what I was doing at the time, and he came and he was like, "Hey, bub, like, hey, it's gonna be okay, but like you got in an accident, and at
you
the
couldn't
time
remember
I
any
didn't
of that.
remember.
And
I was
all
like,
you were-
what accident? Like, what are you talking about?
So okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty traumatic brain injury, and so I don't remember even really the weekend unless people like remind me like this is who was at the ranch. I didn't know my friends were at the ranch. I didn't even know I was at the ranch. Like I just didn't know, but I got reminded, and then it clicks. Like that is why I
Okay.
was at the ranch. That is who was there. That's okay. We went on a helicopter. That makes sense. Everything tracks, and it was just the scariest thing in the world was just waking up with no feet and thinking it was a dream, and then trying to figure out that it's not a dream, and then I woke up this morning and I'm like, all right, this is another day in the life of Bram, and I got a lifetime of this, so like let's make the most of it. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go seek a dose, I'm gonna go get some breakfast, and then jump on a podcast, and kind of try to explain my story a little bit as best as I can. But it was not the easiest thing in the world, just waking up with no feet. I mean,
For sure, man. And then, when you when that happens and you finally see your loved ones and your family, is there a switch for you? Like, okay, I got to go back to being strong and it's gonna be okay because I have to show these people. Or are you still vulnerable? Or did you have? When did it even? Or has it kicked in and be like, no, I'm not gonna let this define me. I'm gonna do this. Or were you in a drought for a period for that long? Man, fuck it, I don't want to do it. This. Look what was taken from me. What the fuck? I don't have this. And I'm like, what was kind of your thought process?
yeah, it questions your like spirituality, like why the hell did God do this to me? But it's just I think this was given to this blessing of life, and with the unfortunate situation of losing my feet, was given to the right person. Somebody with a conditioned mindset of football where everything's not perfect, who knows how to battle, knows how to come back from 31 to 0 against Oregon, and I was the best hand was dealt to me, in the situation of staying still spiritual at this point, because there's a lot of days where I've questioned like why me, like what the hell, like what. But it's about he chose me for a reason. He chose me to motivate other people and to make the most of it, and I feel like I've been doing that since it's happened. But when I saw my family, it was super emotional. Like I was on so many drugs for so long, like in the hospital, that I couldn't feel anything, and then pain started setting in, and then reality, and then the hardest part was, like I said, with the physical therapist, who said after year 1 it's going to turn into year 2 and it's going to be tough. And that's when I stopped coming to Congo, and I just couldn't get out of bed for a while, but you guys, I think I was in a group chat with Dose or you and Bacha and Taj just like out of nowhere. I thought, they won't notice. I mean, they're not going to reach out or like see why I'm not coming. And Taj sent that text like, hey man, is everything okay? It was motivational. And I was like, okay, they notice I'm not coming, and that's shitty on my end that I'm not showing up. And that was the same time my high school or my college teammates all just showed up in town one weekend, like 4 of them, 5, and that was when I wasn't going to Congo, and I was like, you know what, we're gonna go tomorrow, and then it brought me back in on Monday, Tuesday, it just got me out of a rut that like people cared and noticed. Like I was silent on group chats for a long time, and they just showed up and got me out of bed, got me to workouts, took me out to dinner, eat. Like, it's been tough, and then you getting back in ruts and come in and out. But right now, I'm trying to stay on like a conditioned mindset to keep coming to Taj, and I mean keep coming to Congo, and because y'all are my therapy. I mean, I was asked, how often do you have to go to therapy? And I tell them I go once a day. I go to therapy once a day, and y'all are my therapy.
It's funny you mentioned the therapy thing, and is like, dude, that's such a real thing. He doesn't have to be an actual sit down therapist. It can in whatever situation may be. But dude, you're not the only one. When I tell you, I've heard that. Aaron, we're still okay. I've heard that in the sense like we've saved people's lives, or you've changed this, you changed that. So I'm happy, we've created a safe space for that. And I remember, Taj is not really I'm more of the yelling rah-rah guy. It'll come out as a Taj when it needs to. But when Taj told me about what was going on, and I asked, I was like, how do you think Bram's going to handle it? And when you came in that first day, when you had, what did we start out? You were in the wheelchair, and then we had you off the wheelchair, right?
I'd pull it in the wheelchair, and then just get out and be on my knees the whole time.
Yeah, that's what it was. So it was literally, I wonder if maybe we took it. I don't think anybody did. And it was just like, Taj had it. When I was watching it.
Yeah.
And I think we all said, we don't know how we're going to do this or what we're going to do, but we got you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
And after that session, and I said, he goes, nah, man, fuck that. I'm going to make this my duty to make sure that he comes back from this. And all the stuff that I learned and, with his knee and stuff. And it was just like that belief in it, and coming from him, one, because he's not the rah-rah guy. He's more of an action guy. And so hearing him talk about it made it feel even better. And then it was like, okay, all of us were like, this is our chance to help somebody out. And if it was me, or if it was like my brother, how would we want to be treated? So when you came in there, it wasn't no woe is me mentality. I think even Dre was there the first day or something, the way things worked out. And it was like, I wanted it to be the same when you walk in. They didn't give a fuck. And I know it was hard for me to watch and shit. But then I'm like, when Stodge was like, all right, let's do it. And it was like, okay. I was at that point, it was like, we're going to get you back. And then started coming in. And then you had your fall off. And then your boys came in. And it's like, I respect the resilience and the fact that you've mentally tell yourself that it's an everyday battle. And it's like, it kind of translates with my honeymoon stuff. Like I always talk about the honeymoon phase. Your honeymoon phase was, oh, he's working out now and he's okay. He's like, he can drive now. But, at fucking 10 o'clock at night when you're not sleeping, or 2 a.m, it's just you now. It's you, and these aren't there anymore. It's like, same thing with the business stuff. A honeymoon, you opened up a gym, or you had your own honeymoon. What is it that you do after? And I think, you mentioned football, how that can mentally prepare you, because what do you do when you win a game? You go back and game plan. What do you do when you lose a game? You go back and game plan. What do you do when you go win a championship? You go back and recruit and you play again. And I think, with our mindset and just how you have naturally have it, that, man, whatever it is in life, man, know that you have people that love you, care about you, and you've made it this far, and you can do anything. And I would use it as a opportunity to be like, I can be the first to do this, or I can be the light to other people. And then any bullshit that comes through it, man, like, if you just fall in love with it somehow and understand, I love that you didn't lose your your vision through God. I love that you still leaned on faith, because I'm a firm believer in, the ultimate faith is seeing the unseen. We don't know what your future is right now. And you didn't know that this was going to happen to you either.
Yeah, he gave it to me for a reason.
Yes. And it's your platform, and it's going to be your story to tell, that when you lay your head 6 feet under, or whatever you do, that, you know what? Bram did all this. And Goggins said the same shit. You were this guy, right? Don't be the guy what you could have been. fucking do it every day.
I've seen the bad stories of and heard the bad stories of amputees. You know, they get hooked on all sorts of stuff and end up in a bad situation or no longer with us, and that's the easy route, and that could be exactly where I go or head, but I don't want to do that. I don't, and you guys won't let me do that.
No.
I have family
Fuck
and
no.
faith and God, and you know, my Sly would never even let me do that.
No, and it was just like, even like thinking about it now, man. You bought that car from Cam, right?
Yeah.
Just seeing you drive, man, and come in, it's like and you had a smile on your face, and you gave it a bump on the horn, like I think you're excited to be here, and I love that you're excited to be here and you're excited about life. You know, the days, you know, you talked about it. Okay, I'm gonna have a good day today. What motivates you or inspires you or fucking makes you when you're having the bad day? What is it that you turn into? Is it your mom? Is it your family? Is it
When I'm having a bad day?
Yeah, like a dark day, like a day we don't get to see Bram, or you're kind of. Do you still have those days?
I still have those, but literally the one thing that gets me out of bed is my dog, my little service dog Chip. He's awesome.
Right.
I was gonna bring him today, but he's having a slumber party at Grandma's.
Right.
He's
that's
he's hanging out. But he gets me out of bed, and then it's like, all right, once you're up and out, like you start figuring out your day. But when it's real bad, you know, you rely on family, faith. You say a little prayer, like, all right, don't let this overcome my day. Like, don't let this, and be an example to other people. Like, I don't want to go into Congo and be that miserable amputee that is crying or yelling or just. I don't want to be that guy. You know, I don't want to. I want to be the guy that people text like, "Hey, let's go to dinner. Let's go to lunch." Not be like, "Oh, he's miserable. He just brings out negativity and everything." Like, I want to try to be positive in every situation. And so when I get into the ruts and the bad mornings and stuff, you know, it's my dog kicks my day off, and then, you know, if I need to, I'll call my mom, and then just thank God I'm still working. You know, it gives me something to do, be social, go out, you know, let people know that I am an amputee and I'm not handicapped, I'm handicapable.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, just keep moving forward in life and not just sitting there and being stagnant is kind of how I have to get out of my bad mornings.
Yeah. I think when you were saying that about, you know, getting out and having your bad mornings, I was literally thinking about it as here you were on the curve, like full circle moment, on the curve running, and you're running next to Patrick. And I'm like, how cool is this? You guys are just fucking,
yeah,
like it's normal running. And
two buds just taking a jog, you know?
Yeah.
That curve is a hard machine. And my buddies who came in to get me out of my rut, they were like, dude, a lot of people can't even do the curve. Don't you have to like teach people to do that?
Yeah, that's what I was about to get into next too. Is one, you have to teach people how to do the curve. Like if you've never done it and you say, "Oh yeah, I ran a treadmill before," and next you know what, you go over there, you see the lady about to fall off. Like, whoa! I thought you said you know how to do it. I've never seen something like this before. But I think it's your will, your foundation that when you first, prior to your accident, of what you had, you've ran on it before. But I don't think people understand like. Your motor control, like for you to rebuild everything up, like you had to start from ground one.
Yeah.
And even getting adjusted to the prosthetics, you went through. What was the first set you had? You hated them, right? You were like they weren't as mobile or functional.
Yeah, it was like the knee sleeves. I like the pins because I can just click in and out and just pop in and out. It was a knee sleeve, but this is the second pair of prosthetics I've had. The other one are way better for golf. These are more functional. These are blades, like the Pistorius blades. These are built for more.
This is what we train in, right?
Yeah, every day, but not for the track, like the track runners do. But yeah, these are
throw a Congo sticker on there.
Yeah, these are expensive accessories nowadays.
Okay, again, as well as the thing I wanted to ask, what does something like this cost?
Individually, these I think were like 17 or 16, but I have two, so multiply that by 2.
Damn.
And then that's a Jeep. You know, if you want the Cadillacs.
Okay, give me. Let's talk about the Cadillacs. How much are the Cadillacs?
50 pop.
Is that something that you're trying to eventually get to, or Does it help you more? Like when you get to that level of prosthetic, what is it called?
Yeah, prosthetics.
When you get to that level of them, does that really make a difference? In your
Yeah, if
livelihood?
I wanted to run a marathon, I'd probably go to like the knee sleeves and maybe get more of a Cadillac type foot. And then I like what I have now. They've set me up pretty well. This guy named John Holmes here in Houston is a great prosthesis, and you know, he's taking care of me in all aspects. You know, I'm on set 2, so I'm blowing and going. I feel like I'm freshly new to this stuff. Like I'm 2.5 years in, but I don't know like there's like ankle joints that you can add to prosthetics, and like I talked to for a little bit more rotation and stuff. But and really my whole point is I just want to play golf again, and I've been doing it pretty well since. But there's like a little joint that turns so you can get through the ball and swing, so it's not just all upper body at this point. But I'm learning.
Fuck yeah. You know, I want people to understand is we'll hopefully have some clip. I think we got clip. Are we allowed to post the clips or are we okay?
Yeah.
One, Congo is not for the weak-hearted. Enter Dosecore. And the fact that he's able, I think we do damn near everything. You push the sled, pull the sled, you barbell squats, you do the barbell cleans, you do the squat. There's nothing in there we really, obviously we do a great job. Botshot, Cole, the team, they do a great job of, helping you out, modifying. But for the most part, man, you're out there doing everything everybody else is doing. And I think that speaks volumes. And I don't think people really understand how hard that is to do, one, just in general, with 2 fresh legs. But you're doing it starting from scratch. So, dude, I commend you, and it makes my day every day, seeing that you're doing it in the days that I'm tired and I see you come in. I don't know if you ever think I'm tired. I'm like, man, I got nothing to be tired about. And it really, it hits home, man. It hits home. Like, I'm like, there's more to life. There's more to perspective. Perspective is everything, people. And if you're going out there, or you're fighting through adversity, or you're like, change your thoughts, man. Thoughts are reality. And that's why I believe in manifestation.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of my little Instagram posts was, living life on prosthetics give you a whole new perspective, like just new angle and how you look at life.
Yeah, and I think you were on the bench. I think you were talking to somebody or me, and you said it was actually probably, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the best things to happen to me, or the way from a mental standpoint, like how you had to look through your some stuff that was going on.
It
You
definitely
were saying something along those lines.
It was enlightening. It was it was enlightening because I wasn't living right.
That was the track.
I wasn't living right before. I wasn't going to church. I wasn't, believing in Christ, and I wasn't just like a genuine person. And now it's like, wait, I could have lost my life. Let's turn this into something that is more motivational and memorable for other people that are involved. Yeah. And so yeah, I could say this is one of the better things that's happened to me in my life because it's just eye opening. Like I could have died. Yeah. I'm not gonna post or say anything like that's really going through my head, but like you see a highlight reel every time I walk into Congo. I mean, you just see the highlight reels. You don't see the bad days.
Yeah, the bad days, man. I wish I could be there for you on the bad days.
No, you guys are. Y'all's gym's open. The gym's open. Y'all aren't even closed on like Thanksgiving or something. No. Like you can go.
One day, everybody. Just one day of the year we're closed, and that is Christmas. So for all you people, the one day we do a cancellation or something, man, give us a break. It's 363 days out of the year. We got your back, and we got your back. I was looking at your hand. You had you fucked up your elbow too, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I landed on my feet with the momentum of the helicopter. I was probably moving forward, and it went, foot, butt, and then tumbled forward, and it was both wrists. My left elbow completely shattered. My pelvis had like 3 pelvic reconstructions.
Yeah,
I have
see?
A rod in my left femur, and I don't have 2 feet.
Say all those one more time for me.
I don't have 2 feet. I have a rod in my left femur. I've had 3 pelvic reconstruction surgeries. 2 wrist surgeries and an elbow.
You heard it here first. And what the fuck is your excuse? What are you complaining about? What are you crying about? Who did something to you? He heard this guy from the man himself, and he's out there squatting, running, and trying to be the best version of himself. And dude, Bram, I commend you, bro. I'm so happy you got to come on the show. I'm happy you're here with us. And I'm blessed, man. We're all blessed, and everything's about perspective. And I hope you continue to have that insight and hindsight in life, and know that if you ever, steer off the other track, we're always here for you. And you have a great community of people at Congo that are there for you. And you may look at yourself as an inspiration or not an inspiration, but dude, you're just as important as everybody else on this wall. And I don't say that about a lot of people, because I don't need people to motivate me. I motivate myself. I have little moments, but you're one of those people like Kobe. I put you and Kobe in that realm of when I don't want to do something, or I have to go achieve something, like my dark day or the day I don't want to do something. It's you and Kobe that are up there. And before I start crying, we ain't going to do that on my show. Bram, you got anything else to say?
No, I mean, I think if the most impact you can do for amputees would be donate to some foundations. There's Team Catapult here in Houston. There's the Adaptive Sports Center in Crested Butte, Colorado. There's the Jordan Thomas Foundation out in Nashville, which is strictly pretty much golf. And just give back. I mean, these things are expensive. So
do they have any of those people have social Instagrams? Mm-hmm. We're going to get those Instagrams. We need to get this to everybody out there, in the sense of people, if they need somebody to look up to, or if they're going through something, and be able to give them anything we can do to help or raise money. Other thing I was going to ask you before we close this out, do you have any future aspirations with, heard you say a half marathon or something, a golf? Do you have anything in your head right now that you're trying to do or acquire, or is it just a day-to-day process?
I want to knock out a half marathon at some point. I don't know when that'll be, but
we're going to need them Cadillacs, you Daily Dose subscribers. So let's get this Cadillacs ready. Yeah, I'm down, man.
Yeah,
I'm down to do it.
Maybe you could start with a 5K, 10K, and then just get it going. We'll see.
Well, when you're ready for that. We got you. And I didn't even get to ask you, are you taking the Congo subs?
I'm taking the probiotics and a little. It's literally like a 1/8 of a scoop of the pre-workout. That stuff is intense.
Oh yeah, it's intense.
I used to do half a scoop of the max effort stuff, and I did half a scoop of y'all's first time. I was seeing butterflies.
Yeah, enter the dose core on everything, Sangria creatine. Are you gonna take another shot to close it out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's take a shot to life, man. Surviving.
Watch some football.
What do you got today?
Red Zone. That's my stuff. I just watch Red Zone.
Aaron, can you toss me those sunglasses, man?
Phone.
Alrighty. Yeah.
This is Rocky?
Yeah, bro. That's a sign right there. Keep punching. Keep punching. Got to keep punching. All right, we talked about legends. We talked about Sebastian Plumbing. Gave you the own plug. Did you know Diane Ginsburg?
I didn't know Diane.
She's actually Sebastian's long-lost found mother, because she was helping Diane so much, and then she brought him to the gym as well. But she's a health doctor, helps Alima with all of her gut health. So she does great things. So if you have any gut issues, she's the lady to talk to. Regal Pools, you know Regal, right?
I think so.
Regal Pools, he's a sponsor of the show. Makes amazing pools. Regal, when I buy my house, you'll be the guy. And Phoebe Warren, Compass Realty, selling homes left and right, deadlifting more than you.
Probably.
She's a savage. But Bram, in all seriousness, for the followers out there, you're going through something. He is a light in your darkness. How you see anything, you can go through everything, but if you filtrate your mind with negative thoughts, you're going to have negative thoughts. So no negativity. Believe you can do it. I believe you can do it. And we all believe we can do it. We got a new little thing on this show. Last time it didn't work. Nina's probably freaking out. Bram doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Is it working, Aaron?
Is it smoke?
I think it's just the fucking noise again. I thought I fixed it.
I think it's going.
Well, we're going to need a...
I don't see it going.
It's not coming out. It's a dud. Anyways, that was supposed to be smoke. Bram. Whoa. Now it's working. Now it's not working. Anyways, thank you to all your sponsors. Bram, how do you say your last name?
Colehausen.
Colehausen. I never called him by his last name. Bram's in the building. I love you, bro. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for tapping on the Daily Dose. Episode 11. And you know what? If you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Suck it! Like, subscribe, share. Daily Dose. Bram, we out.